Hello everyone, it is me, StoryFeather, and welcome to another episode of StoryFeather. Okay, so in StoryFeather, as you might not know, I am telling you a story on something that has happened to me, and I always pick the stories that I think are most funny or interesting. This time I'm telling you about the time I went outside and had to let people take a survey for school. The last period of time we had a project about bicycle lighting. Very interesting. And me and two others from my group went onto the streets to let people answer our survey for our research. If you've watched the latest episodes of the Light Vlog over on my vlog channel, you know who I'm talking about. They're called Jos and Dan. But for the pronunciation of Englishness, I will be calling them Josh and Dan, because, you know, I don't want to switch between Dutch and English all the time. That's annoying. Okay, so us three, we were on the street and we were to interview people from between 16 and 23. So everything, yeah, it was normal. We were asking people, a lot of people said no. But at some point, some interesting things happened. So at one point, we were at the station, the train station. And we were in, like, the central hall. So Dan and Josh were over at this bench interviewing some people, and I see this guy walking by me. So I ask him, "Hello sir, would you mind filling in a survey? It's for school." And he looks at me like this. And I was like... And he said, "I don't understand." But it was in English, so I knew, oh, he doesn't speak Dutch. Alright, so in English I said, "Hello sir, would you fill in a survey for school?" And he looked at me like this. No. Okay, thank you anyway. So I walked off to Josh and Dan. And I stand over there, and I look behind me, and there's this guy standing in the middle of the hall looking at me like this. And I think he stared at me for like a minute and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go now." We went on to this game store. And in the basement of the game store, there were like people playing Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, I think. Mainly Magic. So when there was this guy, and we asked him, "Could we ask you some questions for our survey? It's for school." "Ah, sure, what's it about?" "Bicycle lighting." "Ah, okay. So, do you have bicycle lighting on your bike?" "No." "Oh, why not?" "That bike's stolen anyway." "Oh, somebody stole your bike?" "No, I stole that bike." "Oh, alright. And why didn't you install bicycle lighting yet?" "I'm faster than the police anyway." "Okay." And then we asked him, "So, what's your level of education?" "Oh, I'm currently studying law." "Law?" "Yeah. Law." Okay. So that guy was a law student, studying to be a lawyer or judge or whatever, and the guy steals bikes. Okay, so we were outside walking on the walkway, because, you know, that's where you're supposed to walk. Suddenly, this elderly lady runs up on her bike and hits Josh. And she's like, "Watch it!" And he's like, "This is the walkway." "No, it's not, because it doesn't say so on it." And we were like, "Have you ever seen a walkway with walkway written on it?" "No." Okay, at some point we would go to a local high school to interview people from 16 and up. So after we would leave, and around half an hour later, Dan found out he lost his book. So we went back into the school to search for it. And then there was this woman that worked at the school, and she was like, "Do you have an appointment?" "Oh, no, we're just here to find something." "Do you have an appointment?" No, we'll be gone in a minute. We've been here, but he lost his book." "Do you have an appointment?" "No, you need an appointment. We're just trying to find a book." "Oh, you lost something." "Yes." "Oh, that's too bad. What is it?" "Book." "Oh." So later on, we walked to another building of the school, and there was this group of students in front of it, and Dan walked in, and me and Josh were to interview them already a bit. So we just interviewed, and at first we interviewed this one girl, and Josh was interviewing her and writing it all down, and he said, "Do you have bicycle lighting?" And she was like, "No." And he said, "Oh, you're a little criminal." And suddenly that whole group, he said criminal! Huh? Turns out it's way more fun in Dutch actually, but little criminal in Dutch is crimineeltje, and that girl's name happened to be Neeltje, making it the last part of the word. So that would be about the same thing as, you know, you call someone a little criminal and her name happens to be Noel. or Nell. That makes more sense. So they liked that a lot, and Josh was like, yeah, I have those skills, you know, because that was pretty funny. So we all interviewed them, and this youngest girl from the group suddenly said, do you have money? So Josh answered, we're students. Of course we don't have money. So everyone was like, ha ha ha, so true. And when we were about to walk away, one of the girls like followed us, and he was like, you know, I don't have anything to do, I'll just come with you. And we're like, okay. And she suddenly started talking about stuff like, what do you think of communism? And we were talking about political stuff and fedoras and like all kinds of random stuff. But at that point Dan had to go, so he had to go home because we'd been walking around for hours. So she just like continued to walk with us and do the surveys for like an hour or two, I think. And at some point we were walking past this street and she suddenly said, oh, do you want to see my head? And we were like, and Josh said, you know, I can see it right now. And she said, oh, no, wait, because it happened to be that there was this picture she modeled for, and it was in a gallery in that particular street. So, but it was pretty funny at the moment. So in the end, we figured out that Josh's father was her old elementary school teacher. It's a small world after all. Okay, so at some point we were in this mall, and there was this candy store with girls around 17 in it were shopping. At least, I'm not good with ages, but I know they're 17 because later on we interviewed them. So we were standing there and Josh was like, you know, we're two guys standing in front of a candy store waiting for some girls to come out so we could ask them questions. You know, that's very creepy actually. And I was like, yes, but I'm still 17, so Oh, that's also another thing. When we were interviewing the guy that studied law that steals bikes and stuff, he looked at us and he was like, oh, what age are you? He asked Dan, and he said, I'm 18. And he was like, what? No, you're not 18. I want to see your ID card. And Dan was like, no. And then he said to Josh, and you're 18 too, right? And Josh was like, no, I'm 19. What? No, I want to see your ID. And he was like, no. And I was like, yeah, and I'm 17. What? But you're taller than them. But I'm still 17. So yeah, but that's just... Let's get back to the story on when we're at the mall. So we were at the mall and we were like interviewing these girls. And suddenly the girl that was with us was like, parakeets! And she was gone, running to a pet store. We're like, oh, okay. So we waited, and later on she came back. And in the end we befriended her on Facebook, and she actually helped us out with the project more often, like with an interview, because this was a survey, and we did also an interview. And she actually played in one of our commercials, which we made at the end. I gotta start taking breathing pauses. So in the end, it was a really funny day, actually, even though it took so long. I think I was in the train back home at 5, and I was home at like 7. So it took long, but it was quite fun, because it was the time our group bonded stronger, and we experienced some weird shit. So yes, I think that was a pretty funny day, to be honest. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a thumbs up. And if you want to be notified every time I post a new video on YouTube, which is twice a week, click on subscribe on the button I'm currently showing with the annotation, unless you're on a phone, because you can't click annotations on a phone, even though they add cards to the phone, but there is no subscription option on the cards yet, which I think is stupid, or by clicking subscribe down on the normal button. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. And see you later, guys.